To see you, everyone, in Berlin. We are here to make a special meetup about crypto economics. I am a co-founder and of the project of Satoshi.Fund and Cyber.Fund, and we want to tell you some interesting stuff. Today I want to talk about, now I will talk about how to choose and invest in blockchain assets. Feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions. First of all, I will go and speak about the team and who we are. After that, I think I will tell you about Satoshi.Fund, what does it do, and after that we will speak about where we invest. This is our team. We are in blockchain area about from 2011. And this is our developer teams from Kyiv. Also Valery, he is here, he is from Belarus. And we are Dima, I am, and Vitaly. We are founders of Cyber.Fund. We founded it in 2014. Also, in 2014, we have seen the rise of new economy, which we called Cyber.Economy. We checked every blockchain with capitalization more than $100,000, split them on DAO and DApps, and compare by different indicators. From the 1,000 blockchain assets, we saw about 30 that are really interesting and can disrupt markets. Also, in that moment, I bought my first Bitcoins, and in 2014 I invested them in Ethereum. After that, we understood that we need to control our portfolio, and we start to create our first app called Cyber.Fund to control our portfolio. What we found in this research, it's two researches. One is from 2014 and one is from 2015. We found there that we find the new type of assets like Bitcoin, but that can grow faster. Also, in 2016, I think Coinbase and RK Investment Management, they launched their research that really shows that really we have a new type of assets. They compare different type of assets like Bitcoin, USA equities, USA bonds, gold, real estate, and they see that new type of assets such like Bitcoin, they don't have any correlation with this type of assets. Also, I want to show you here in the chart that Bitcoin share is going down. It's to show that our hypothesis is true. What Satoshi.Fund is doing? Satoshi.Fund is a blockchain investment company, and our first product is blockchain traded fund Satoshi.Pi. Satoshi.Pi is a unique financial instrument launched in May last year. It is built on BitShares blockchain, and it is secure, auditable, liquid, high profitable, and diversified. Now it's about $3 million under management. We have about 132 clients, and we grow in only from 9 May to 2016 on 437%, 437% in USD and in 128% in USD. In Bitcoins, yes. Also here on the here I will show you how our Satoshi.Pi is work. First of all, the client, he creates the account on BitShares network. After that, he sends us Bitcoins, and we send him back our special token called Spice. It's a part of our portfolio. And when he takes his profit, he can just sell on the market this token, or he can send it back to us. I will show our website so you can see how it works right now. 1 second, please. Yes, this is our website. You can check it later. And just when you click invest now, you will go to BitShares blockchain. It's a special wallet on blockchain. And here you can check your balance. Now in that balance, it's not mine, it's about 359 spice, the tokens. Yes, it's his father's balance. so you can transfer these tokens anywhere. Also, you can exchange it. So it's first blockchain traded fund. This token is traded on blockchains. Also, you can invest and you will receive your token in one day. We give you a special account, Bitcoin account for your blockchain, or for your account. Let's continue. 1 second. Oh, 1 second. And where we invest. This information will be good for developers who want to attract money and for investors who choose the assets. Since 2009, it is possible for everybody to invest in new type of assets, blockchains or blockchain assets. These assets are programmable, open source, auditable, liquid, high yield, and accessible. There are no legal or free barriers that could prevent you from investing into public blockchain investing. However, it would be helpful to know mathematics, programming, and economics and be tech savvy in order to make money on those investments. We think that blockchains are next internet. And they disrupt traditional economy. Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency, yes. Ethereum is the first smart contract platform. But we have a lot of different markets that can be disrupted. Also, almost any P2P or sharing service could be built on blockchain. And new Ubers with a lucrative growth rate will definitely appear. Why? Because blockchains or decentralized corporations do not need buildings or workers. They have embedded economic incentives inside, yes, motivation for all participants, and those could afford to change pennies for services. Faster than Google, it can grow faster, yes, than Google, than Facebook, than anyone. And yes, the companies like Uber, they're private, so you can invest there, so you can invest there only privately. It doesn't have any open market. And also, the companies like Bitcoin, decentralized autonomous organizations, it's open companies, and their growth rate is much higher because of the architecture. This is our portfolio composition, and you can look, it's not very good on this projector, but you can look where we invest. We work with each software by ourselves, and also you can find it in the website. So we have about 20 cryptocurrency now in our asset portfolio. Here I want to talk about asset life cycle. Think about ICOs. This is a simple explanation about how this ICO you can count the cap. For example, if we have only idea and team, it's the stage of idea. If you read a white paper, sometimes when we read it, it's brown paper. Yes, it's very bad. We analyze it, and cap is about 5,000 bitcoins. And also, if the company has the first implementation of first proof of concept, when they have a code on GitHub, it can be capped about from 1,000 bitcoins to 20,000 of bitcoins. I want to tell you about these three things because it's very important if you have a company or you are going to make your own ICO. These three things is the most important. The first one is economic model. Each project need to have this economic model in white paper because this decentralized autonomous organization should be motivated inside. You create tokens, and this token should motivate to develop these projects. Also, the second thing is distribution. For example, you saw such project like Steam that has not very good distribution, and they have very big problems with that. Yes, they have about 70% in their own pocket, and the project can grow faster. Now it takes the second, or it has the third place by transaction. It has about 200 transactions a day, but 200,000, yes, transactions. The first place is Ripple, about 1 million transactions. The second is Bitcoin, about 300 transactions. And if they have much better distribution, I'm sure that they will grow faster. And the third one is transparency. Transparency is very important too, because, for example, we have a lot of ICO now, and they are not, some of them are not transparent. Maybe somebody invests in Qtum or something like that, and you can't find any information about in what addresses people are invested. So you can check the cap. So it can be unfair, and this is a risk. And when we look on these three things, then better they are, then more we invest. I think that's all for start. Thank you for your attention. If somebody have a questions. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Question.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you deal with the legal aspects?
Yes, it's a good question. Yes, now we are in gray zone because we accept only Bitcoins. But of course, we understand that, for example, in the Eurozone, soon we will have a special legal things about cryptocurrencies. And now we are working about half of our time to find this legal solution. We have about some contracts, yes, now on our signature to create one of the first legal solution for blockchain asset funds. So we are working on it, and now we don't have it.
Okay, and your structure itself, is it a legal? Did you not only? So I'm interested not only to understand the legal aspect, how you deal with the cryptocurrencies, but how is your fund managed? Is it just a wallet? Or a smart contract?
Now it's just a wallet. You just receive bitcoins and manage them, and we create token to give you back.
Okay, and it's kind of a multi-signature.
Yes, we have a special multi-signature between fund managers.
We have about 92% under multi-sig. The problem is that several blockchain systems doesn't offer multi-sig at all. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So we split with
and we have a special table like Excel that you can audit every transaction. It's really transparent.
We have working sheet of transaction which is complete and discontinuous.
Okay, and do you know somehow what your investors are?
Do we make KYC or?
No. Anonymous investments. Right now.
Yes.
Pseudonymous.
Pseudonymous, yes.
Yes, of course we know someone, yes, because it's our friends or, for example, our money, yes, but somebody we don't know. But if we will make a legal solution, we will need to make KYC and AML.
Okay, and then you receive the money and then you invest in different...
Yes, we receive bitcoins, and if we have, for example, if we need to rebalance it, yes, to another assets, we just make a rebalancing. If we don't need, if it's small amount, we don't make it.
And what is your investment thesis? Are you, just let me explain, are you investing in currency according to the functional development of the value? Or are you investing in specific projects, like, for example, with smart contracts, not with smart contracts, infrastructure projects, or...
We invest only in blockchain assets, yes, and we invest only that don't have any risk of for third party.
So we basically invest in systems that don't hold counterparty risk or issuer risk. So it should be completely decentralized eventually. Actually, we have a white paper. It describes all our strategies.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
And you invest post ICO
We can
when
invest.
they are traded on the
Both.
exchanges
Both.
or even
Both.
pre-token sale,
Doesn't matter.
pre-sales token.
Yes, also.
Everywhere. So we can invest in pre-ICO or ICO or traded. But we have a special limits, yes, for unliquid assets. If we, for example, have more than 10% of unliquid assets, we don't invest in such type of assets because it's risk. We have a risk, yes. If everyone go out, we need to pay them.
We have
Yeah.
a risk profile.
Yeah, and all tokens.
Criteria.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
right,
yes.
right. And then what do you think, you know, there's always the discussion about blockchain, what is the killer app of blockchain? I'm keen to say that's the tokens. It's the tokens, no?
Yeah, maybe, because it depends, yes. If, for example, you're looking in the technology, yes, you have a really great technology. It's not the tokens, it's more. And it can be decentralized internet or other things, or like Golem projects or Augur. It's different. The tokens is one of them, yes. If you say about the pill, yes, maybe.
Because tokens attracts traders, and
Yes.
and most don't even read the white papers and don't know about where they invest.
Yes,
They follow the drive, they follow some experts, and they are attracted by the high risk but also high upside potential.
yes, but you know that the number of projects are growing, yes, and we have a special term, as I said, about brown papers. We have now a lot of brown papers that doesn't. It's really, it's really, yes,
We have already even a white paper generator.
yes.
Team generator.
But basically, usually we know the teams who are really behind this project.
Yeah.
We are using the software. We are geeks, you know.
Yeah,
the software we invest in.
we try everything by our hands. We make a security and
And
everything.
actually, this is the key factor of our
You do an
success.
audit? You do an audit?
What?
You do an audit? Do you do?
Technical audit not by ourselves, yes.
You can do it yourself.
But
Yeah.
you rely on publicly available information,
Yes,
and then
yes.
maybe
Yeah.
personal
Yeah,
contact.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We use only open source
Open
software,
source
yeah.
software for our operations.
Okay.
Multi-signature, and yes, all transactions are audible,
Okay.
auditable by everybody. So
Okay.
we didn't offer special audit services yet.
But you could need it.
I think
Yes.
we will do it in the future. We are developing.
Did you hear about that Shapeshift deal?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So we did the audit for it.
Yes.
The audit of Shapeshift.
Shapeshift don't publish anything about its accounts. We do. And
Okay.
we can have.
We are
proof
fully
that
transparent, yeah.
These accounts controlled by us with this amount of assets.
Okay.
Shapeshift don't do that actually.
No.
So we need to pay for, you know, we have a really cost-effective model
Okay.
because we don't need almost anything from the traditional space.
No. But if we will make a legal solution, so we will have some cost and we need to take it from the
Give you
customer.
costs.
Yeah. Now we have a 5% entrance fee and 5% entrance fee and 5% exit fee. Or you can buy the tokens on the market without any fees. Yes, but nobody sell. I don't know why.
What's the bid ask on the bid shares?
Now we don't have any liquidity because nobody wants to sell the token. I don't know why. maybe. Yes, it's grow every day, and yes, we have a very good retention of people who invest, and it's growing every day. And if some people want to go out, they just pay 5% commission. I don't know why. They can just put the order to the market on our website, but they don't do it.
Are you going to be a DAO?
Maybe, but not yet. I think the technology is not ready yet. It's too early to make decentralized funds, because you know that you have such project like Hack the DAO or the other, or like Hack SRCam. They have, for example, the problem with their token, and it's just disappeared. Yes, from the we have one balance, and then just we have a zero, and it's not the technology. It's not ready for decentralized funds, I think. Maybe some times later, not today. Maybe in 1 year, but.
So you are the new fund manager of the future, and the new banksters. You look kind of different from the people that manage our funds.
Yes, please.
Which is good, so.
We all have financial education.
Yeah. I think we need to continue. Dima, let's start.
Okay. Everybody, hi. Happy to see you here in Berlin.
Oh, 1 second, yeah.
Once again.
Yeah.
Microphone. Okay. Everybody, hi. Happy to see you here in Berlin. Thank you for coming. First of all, I want to get some information about who you are. Please raise your hands, those who hold 2 or more blockchain assets. 2 or more. Okay. Please raise your hands who invested in Ethereum on a crowd sale. Who created it? Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, really cool. Okay, I want to tell about the Cyber.Fund stuff. I want to give you some really simple ideas on what it is. First, we have some problems in our, industry level problems. Some are really hard. Vitalik recently published a video on YouTube. He defined hard problems for cryptoeconomy. Those are economic finality. This is parallelizing or sharding, yeah. Speed of the blockchain and privacy stuff. And you need to balance decentralization and costs while designing your system. These are really hard problems. In Cyber.Fund, we don't touch these class of problems. Yeah, what actually Vitalik maybe don't even understand is that we build all that blockchain stuff for people to use it. And we are using it for 3 years already. Yeah, we have hundreds of accounts in the different blockchains. And when you begin to use more than 2 free software to hold and track and make operations in blockchain assets, you will have problems of accounting. That is a pain. That is a really not good thing. What happens? Everybody trying to build blockchains. For example, these guys is building Eternity, the new kind of scripting language, Turing complete, and he doesn't actually think what will happen when people begin to use it. How we will account it. Such a simple. So I call it soft problems in the blockchain space, and we have 3. First one is accounting, second one is search, and the third one is interaction. Such a simple. I will elaborate on these later. That is the first part, yes, of what is Cyber.Fund about. The second part is our long-term vision. Yes, we have 6 technologies right now which are developing really fast. Those are virtual reality, augmented reality, mesh networks are coming, and software-defined radio hardware are really here. We have computer-brain interfaces. OpenBCI is ready to deliver. We have weird artificial intelligence stuff with deep learning and TensorFlow. As one case, we will actually have 30 frameworks for working with nets right now. And we have that robotics things, the biggest thing I do believe. Drones, you can take Raspberry Pi right now, program it, and it became self-autonomous robot. And that is actually the big idea behind Cyber.Fund. Yes, the big idea is that if a robot can earn, hold, and pay, well, he or she can do everything that you can do. Just think about that. We have smart contracts that can enforce decisions, and that is where we are heading. The second rule that is stemmed from the first one is that in order to have the chance to evolve, a robot should have verified information on a state of economic reality. So if the robot will have possibility to understand what will happen, what happens economically everywhere, it will have possibility to make its decisions, pay, interact, etc. And that is a big idea. And that is not actually a theory or something. That is that's already here. I can show you this video. That is our friend from St. Petersburg. He delivering a drone on Ethereum. Just look. Yes, it is Geth console. You have two terminals.
This drone takes their mission with smart contract.
Yeah.
With GPS coordinates and.
Drone has a node, working Ethereum node, on it inside itself, and it receives commands through smart contracts. So you can make transactions and yes, it start.
You just pay Ether?
Yes, you just pay in Ether and it do the job. That's an idea, and that is a prototype, working prototype.
We are working with this.
We are working on all. That is a proof of concepts right now. We don't have any ideas how to monetize it right now. Yes, because yeah. Okay.
It's a simple
Okay.
API on board.
Yes, that is a yes. Oh, sorry. So the drone did a job and getting back to base. Yes.
Well, I get the old point.
And
Yeah.
one more thing, that this drone on Ethereum have a decentralized coordination contract. You are give coordinates. This contract calculate Ethers, which you should pay for this mission. And when we are paying, don't only after this life.
The next thing are really funnier because you can see the smart socket here. Valero built it. It is a working prototype of the smart socket built using Ethereum. It can receive ethers for an electricity. So, for example, drone can buy electricity from a smart socket without middlemen. And this is a smart lock, yes, built by Valera. And we also demonstrated vending machine. So all the beasts can interact with each other directly without banks, enterprises, peoples, etc. They can create their own internal economy and offer services for themselves. That's really interesting concept, and that is actually we are heading, obviously. Yes, and that is really nice. All that stuff, it is exciting, but remember the second law. But to make that work, the robot should have verified state of economic reality to make a personal decision, own decision. And that is why we need to solve these three soft problems to make that work, to make that the reality work. The first one is accounting. It is you can see a blockchain screenshot here. The guy is able to calculate profit loss directly from a blockchain. But to make it, you need to get a lot of data about markets. You need to choose a method of calculating a price. You need to choose a method of evaluation of particular asset. So that is not easy to, that's easy to make, for example, for Bitcoin or for Ethers. But we have already thousands of tokens on the market, and 30 of them are really interesting and promising. But I do believe that we will have in 10 years more than 1 billion tokens. Millions of them will be publicly available and will have their own meanings. Just to remember you, right now we have at least 100,000 public companies which are traded on different exchanges around the world. So tokens are going to be huge, and you have a problem with accounting. I mean, valuation methodology and a way to calculate in profit losses and get states of the balances. We suffer from this problem in the Satoshi.Fund while doing our investments. Right now we are doing it in the spreadsheets. We have the Cyber.Fund application which enable you to evaluate state of your accounts in different blockchains in real time. But it is not good. It was built 1 year ago as a prototype also. It is not good. We are going to rewrite it, and I will tell you later how we are going to do it. And the second thing is search. Yes, just it. The blockchains are actually a source of the information in the next internet. Just think about it. Right now, Google, for example, what he do? He go to a website using crawlers, yes, and scrap all that unstructured information, trying to find some meaning inside it. But this information came from centralized database. Blockchains are database, so you can get information directly from a moment when it appears, trustlessly. And that is a big thing. We are expecting that we'll have more and more interesting content in the blockchain. I mean, not only financial in traditional sense, but for example, Steam blockchain already holds a lot of interesting articles. That's like a Medium, like Reddit. And there is one very interesting case, again, Blockchair, in a space that is on the Bitcoin Blockchain Explorer. The guy built full text search on a Bitcoin blockchain. It works, you can test it out. So the third thing is interaction. Multi-blockchain wallets are the pain thing. I mean, that is a pain, because right now we have only Exodus guys, which support only 5 blockchain, not the most popular at all. We have Jax, the same thing, and that is basically, that's it. We need to solve these 3 simple problems to create from a blockchain space really interesting and exciting industry, because my mom right now cannot use more than 1 Bitcoin. He doesn't understand what happens underneath. So in order to get to a weird robotic stuff, we need to solve really simple, plain, not theoretically hard problems like in accounting and search, and simple wallet applications which enable people to interact easily. And that is how we are going to do that. That is high-level architecture of the software we are building right now on a GitHub. Please raise your hands who are developers here. Oh, that's cool. Okay. The idea is that you will never know what blockchain will evolve faster. That is the first one. The second idea is that you will never find a best database to query your data. Something happens that will create a new super pooper database that will query graphs, or it will query some k-value things faster, etc., etc. So you never know what database used to query the data. The third thing is it's kind of the assumption that IPFS is a thing. Tell me who know about IPFS? Oh. Yes, IPFS is a thing really, and we want to put it in the core of our distributed application. That is not a blockchain yet. We have a design for a blockchain built using this stack, but we are now not talking about the blockchains either. We want just to build an open source distributed application where it solves three particular problems I'm talking about. So the idea is that we can relay all data that happens using Bitcore, Parity, RippleZ, etc. Any blockchain node. We can relay it to OrbitDB directly into IPFS. Fast make all information that happens in the blockchains available offline both and easily queryable from a mobile and desktop clients. Directly, don't touch in our servers. That can significantly reduce, because our first version of Cyber.Fund application, it was slow. It was slow, and now we're thinking how we can solve it. They do believe that putting IPFS on the backend and on the client is a way to go. So the next thing what happens, we are going to put all the data we are putting into IPFS to traditional databases, like name it Postgres, Rethink, Elasticsearch, even Hadoop. So we are going to build connectors to these databases where we'll put the scope of data you want to your Cyber node. That is the next thing. And there is a piece of software called Conk. It is API router. It will have an API, open and simple, just to work seamlessly with different blockchains, either from a backend or client side. So that is the basic idea behind this picture. Let me continue. The code of CyberNode is on a GitHub right now. It is, we are just starting to build it. We are just starting to build it. We are going to add connectors. We are going to add projectors, so supporting more databases and more blockchain systems. We believe that we will be able in a year or so to build a new kind of API that will allow you to build on your hardware a CyberNode. CyberNode, I mean that is node of nodes. So you can build a node for yourself using Docker very easily, and it will run everything basically what you need to build any kind of their distributed or decentralized application. Because you will be able to query data, structure it, you will be able to make a full text search, and you will be able to interact with the several blockchains seamlessly. We follow several principles. The first one is modularity. So we need to, that is going to be really hard software, I mean big software, and the only way to manage complexity in such kind of system is to build simple and flexible, dedicated for particular functions models. The second one is that it should be available on every platform. I mean, starting from CLI, Android, OS X, iOS, Linux, and at least this one, 5. It should be blockchain agnostic. It shouldn't rely on any particular blockchain technology, because right now we have UTXO-based Bitcoin, we have account-based Ethereum, we have a very different thing called Graphene, which is Steam and BitShares. We have Ripple, and they are so different. And right now we are observing that we are going to have the new class of system, not a blockchains, it is a tangles. Tangles, heard about tangles? That is Byteball and IOTA project, IOTA. Yeah, that is really different kind of system, but it has several properties of a blockchain. So we need to design a system that will be future-proof. And it should work offline. It should work offline, because offline is critical for users, for me, I mean, for my mom. Such a simple. Yeah, it should be real time, and it should be distributed, and it should be secure. So these very simple principles we are going to follow in our efforts. And our focus right now is just 3 simple GitHub projects. The first one is CyberNode. It is a backend. That is just simple collection of Docker containers, which will allow you to build your node very fast. The second one is a Koenig release. That is a front-end application. The first one on a CyberNode. And the third one is an API specification of interaction between CyberNode and web or mobile applications. It is built using RAML specification. It should be clear. That's it. So only three simple projects we are starting from. If you want to get involved, you should read the first paper. It is about crypto property evaluation. I wrote it almost 1.5 years ago. It should be fixed soon. I mean, we get a lot of information since there. It should be updated, so don't hope that it is perfect. I do not believe so. And the second one is our long-term vision. I wrote one month ago a paper, Motivated Search and Evaluation Engine for Permanent Web. That is a kind of better Google built on top of IPFS and blockchain stuff. It is really long-term vision. We don't rely on this paper yet because we need to build application infrastructure first. I mean centralized application infrastructure that works. Thus, it will enable some opportunities for a really good search engine on top of blockchains. So that is papers, and we are hiring. And there is a link to a speaker deck for this presentation if you are interested in more. That's it, questions? Yes, we will support Ethernet.
Can I use your laptop to show the Eternity video?
Yes, for sure.
Cool, thanks.
But we can ask questions first.
How did you get your mother to use Bitcoin?
I show her the profitability, you know. Such a simple. To 12% in month compound growth rate. Yes, since inception. Ethereum right now has about 18% compound monthly growth rate. It was easy, you know.
Showing Cyber.Fund.
Ah, yes. We have some kind of neat analytics on the Cyber.Fund. Actually, we are trying to understand how these systems are growing. We designed a special Melonport. They are really good. Yes, we designed a special indicator. We call it CMGR. It is like compound annual growth rate in traditional investments, but monthly. And it actually, we make an audit of all historical prices for all blockchain assets. We defined a term, first initial price, yeah, based on which we calculate this compound rate. And it shows perfectly how first it shows what kind of growth the system can show you in the future. So it is kind of expectation. The second one, if you understand how it fluctuates this indicator, you can understand how it is overheated or not. So for example, I know if Ethereum growth rate is rising to the 20%, it is probably overheated. And if it is about 13%, that is time to buy. So they have growth rates for every blockchain system in existence right now. You can see Factom 20%, Augur 18%, Ethereum 18%, etc. And Bitcoin is 12 and 12.4. So we are in our investment strategy, by the way, we are looking for a system who is able to outpace Bitcoin at least. Now we start to thinking that probably we need to find a system who can outpace Ethereum. So why not? Yeah. Somebody will do. Okay. Okay. Questions? More questions? Okay. Alternative.
Отлично.
Только ты помнишь, да? Ну, не заходи за зону, потом ребята.
Хорошо. И где нажимать просто?
Вот стрелочки.
Ага.
Первый слайд.
Okay. So this was my beer actually. Okay. We should start. So I'm going to be presenting a blockchain protocol for gambling industry that I have been working on with my team that I joined in January. So shut up, everyone. I'm really nervous. So basically, DAO.Casino is a protocol which allows a decentralized gambling industry to happen. I will be telling you what are the issues in the normal gambling industry that we can solve with all this decentralized stuff, and the way to generate pretty good random numbers in deterministic Ethereum, which is deterministic. So so ever since we came, all our team members came across Ethereum, we sort of thought, okay, gaming and gambling industry, it's going to be the one that can really be disrupted and changed for better with stuff like Ethereum, right? So it has pretty good market right now, and we believe we can build a better system just by using all this decentralized stuff. So, oh, sorry. These are the problems of traditional server-based centralized internet gambling, and the sort of, I kind of summarize it with, like, there is no such a thing as a trusted third party, because right now, with the system we have now, we have to trust someone, and if anyone is familiar with all this decentralized space, and I think audience here is pretty familiar with this kind of stuff, so I don't have to go through each problem easily. If you have abuse of trust, if you need to trust someone, you usually get abuse of trust. And with decentralizing stuff and using cryptographically verifiable code, you can build protocols which don't require trust, so there is no one who can abuse trust. So that's pretty simple. So the features of the system that we're building is obviously transparent, because decentralized is not a feature. Decentralized is just a way to solve some problems. And so it's totally transparent, so the way outcomes in the games are generated, everyone can check whether you've been screwed over or not. You can allow a peer-to-peer marketplace where developers can submit their games and their players can pay them directly via the system. And other features, because the ownership of the system is managed by everyone having some tokens and everyone submitting some kind of value to the system. So if you have a token, you're a participant, and then you can use your membership in a bunch of different ways that I'm going to describe later. And obviously you get a higher payout because no one can take a cut for doing nothing. So the system, which is fairly decentralized, will prevent by design, all kind of possibilities of rent seeking. Because if now you have abuse of trust, you can withdraw any kind of cut you want from people. And these are different roles of, basically we thought, how do we design a system of gambling which is fair and sustainable and decentralized, there's no abuse of trust and blah, blah, blah. So we identified a bunch of roles in gambling industry. Some of them are normal and classic, such as like a game developer or a player, and some of them are some roles that we had to add to the system. So there are basically casino operators, like any casino who actually wants to play fair. They want to join, they can use the system, this business, sort of business logic coded into Ethereum smart contracts and open their own casino, which basically means that casino operator doesn't have to be online, like normal mainstream online casino. Everyone can be a casino. If you want to be a casino, you can be a casino. So then there are investors into bankrolls. So if you have tokens and you really love one platform or one game, you can just dump your tokens in there, like you can peer-to-peer crowdfund a game. Then you have random generators, which are very, very important, guys. So everyone can generate a random number for the games. And why are you laughing? Then you have game developers and contributors. Contributors is basically people who get tokens, and then they can become any of this. They can either play, or they can back a bankroll of a game they like, or they can become random providers. And then there are referrals, and the referrals are the ones who discover games and just recommend them to other people. And then they take a cut for actually doing something. They're not just sitting there on the server trying to take money from people for doing nothing. So this is about, now I'm actually getting to the interesting part about how the hell we're actually getting the random numbers, or I call them pretty good random numbers because they're not actually random. They're pseudo-random, but pretty good pseudo-random numbers into a deterministic virtual machine. So the way we, with the help of Vlad actually, who advised us on some stuff, we came up with a certain design. So the design is like any token holder can become a random number provider. And the way it works, well, in the future there will be, let's say, a client, and it doesn't have to be a client. So you generate a bunch of hashes, you generate like a hash tree, and then you send a last hash from your hash tree into the contract, and then alongside with a bunch of tokens that you just basically freeze. If you guys are familiar with proof of stake, that basically you're staking a bunch of tokens. So you stake, basically in order to become random number provider, or like, it's almost like being a miner, but you mine numbers. So in order to, no, why are you laughing? It's like, that's what it is, right?
Because it's fun, no.
I like it.
So basically you have a bunch of tokens, and as long as you have 0.1% of all the tokens of the system, you can become a random miner. So you create your hash tree, you send the last hash of this tree into the contract, and then you become a miner of random, and then bit by bit you will reveal all the hashes that your tree has. So like each block you're gonna send a new hash into the block. And what the contract does, that's the next slide actually. Yeah, there's actually Sasha on the bike that generates random numbers. Anyway, so what happens in the contract is simply, yeah. So in the contract there is some magic happening with these numbers that are sent by all these random providers, and the contract makes some kind of a number from it, and it becomes a pretty good pseudo-random that the games can use. And there's a lot of like weird stuff on top of it, but I think I'm just gonna skip through. Is like, how do you actually choose a contract which is, because there can be different contracts which produce this numbers, and well, token holders can vote for different contracts, but I'm really not going to get into these details. So that's all about random, and then we have a bounty program that you can check out on the website. I won't describe it because it's like self-evident. So you basically get percentage of tokens if you do something useful for the project and if you think it's fun. And the roadmap, I'm not sure if it's a new roadmap actually. Is it new? Okay. So basically we started in summer. And I mean, I started dreaming about doing gaming stuff on Ethereum like the first day I came across it, but the whole team was doing market research since summer. Then I joined in January. Then in February, we released a test platform and a bunch of super cool games that you can try. They're not yet connected to this whole universe of gambling. It's just games which have a contract, Ethereum contract as a backend. And then we will be releasing the main contracts during this month. And then, yeah, next year doing VR stuff. The team, you probably met most of these guys already in this room. I'm not sure, like, I'm not going to describe everyone. So basically everyone is a co-founder or a founder of some project. So we're not like, we didn't just come out of the woodwork, right? So we know what the fuck we're talking about here, right? We're not just disrupting gambling industry because blockchains are cool. We know what they are, and we're sort of way beyond the hype curve of blockchains. Yeah, go and play our games, and that's it. And
maybe you just show the platform, the new platform, because we.
I don't know how to use this computer.
Yeah, and just yesterday we released our first game, DICE game, and our platform.
It's cool. Like all the women are on stage. No, almost all of them.
Yeah, just a moment.
We have also.
100% women in blockchain.
We are what?
Start gambling,
So we have two questions, right?
Just check platform. Use your phones now. Platform.
But I can take questions and you do the platform.
Now, everybody do this with me, yes?
Yeah, I'm listening.
These guys have DAO game. It's really funny. You should check.
Sorry. Yeah, and here is our first game.
Show DAO game.
Show DAO game.
It was for Edcon, yeah?
Короче, найди Сергея. Найди Сергея.
Подожди, мы покажем его.
Окей. Найди Сергея, короче, видео, потому что если мы сейчас начнем играть... Sorry.
Let's play.
Okay.
It's really awesome game.
А как сделать на весь экран?
Слева.
Вот здесь.
What's your question?
So like in blackjack, people like to play fairly quickly, but the rate of block creation on Ethereum is like 10 seconds or so.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, why aren't you considering like having this random number generator happen off-chain?
We tried that shit, and we actually used Oracleize, and I mean, I love Oracleize, and they're awesome guys.
Like we each come up with a commit to a secret, and then we both reveal our secrets and XOR them, and the result is a random number. So if you have pairs of people, they can create random numbers on their own off-chain, like a dealer and a player.
I guess it's possible, but when we try to, yeah, maybe you better. I mean,
it's not really decentralized. It's decentralized, yes, but it's you have an answer, yes, because who make this random number, yes, you have an answer. You have two problems. The first problem is the block, yes, the time that you need to make the random number. It's about 30 seconds now. Because the first block, yes, includes.
Слушай, давай лучше видео покажем.
Block is but it will be we can shoot it when we will have.
Ну давай.
Как здесь сделать копию? Ты знаешь, как сделать копию?
Every gambling on Ethereum will be very slow. Yes.
No, on Ethereum today, you can already.
On eternity, it will be faster. I know.
On Ethereum, you can do this.
But we are
Pairs
waiting
of
for
people
this.
make random numbers off-chain and then publish it with a transaction on-chain.
Yes, but it's not random numbers that are off-chain. They're not random.
Sure, it's random. If you come up with a 1 or a 0 and you commit to it.
There is like, why don't we just have a discussion about different random things and get another question? I mean, I'm really interested because we tried a bunch of things, and well,
You can join the bounty program.
or just give it to us for free, because like it's hard.
So you
Guys, check this DAO case.
It's a simple problem.
But you have to play it. It's offline.
What was they doing yesterday?
Короче, найди просто видео.
Сейчас, подожди, сейчас.
Она оффлайн.
Он через несколько минут придет.
Слушай, покажи просто видео. Ты знаешь?
Мы хотим DAO Game.
Ну там видео есть DAO Game.
Да, давай видос.
Давай найдем видео, короче.
Ребят, подождут минуты.
Ну ладно. Sorry. Sorry, what was your question?
Yeah, my question is like, can I like ask it in the open?
Sure.
Yeah. So I can have an audience, or I mean.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
We have another question.
I have another question. Okay, so I had a few tequilas, but don't worry. So, like, do you know the guy who is like became famous as the inventor of like the Bitcoin thing, who like submitted a lot of patent applications on it?
No, Satoshi Nakamoto.
No, there's another guy who like says like I'm from New Zealand and I like invented Bitcoin and everything, and yeah, you know, yeah. And he says that in the Bitcoin like code there are still some leftovers from like credible online gambling system.
Okay.
And I think like,
So he can apply for our bounty.
The point that I want to make is like first that it's like very credible to have like a credible gambling system built on a blockchain system, because you can like show and prove to people that you can like you are not making up like the hole where the ball is like going in the roulette table. You know, you are constrained to some.
What's your
possibility.
point? Dude, my beer is over.
My point is that I want to like, did you ever investigate in this like thing?
You mean using Bitcoin or some other
No,
blockchains?
that there are some leftovers in the Bitcoin code, because I think like this guy made a credible point that like Bitcoin might be the first implementation of like a provable casino system online, and that Bitcoin maybe is like the thing that came out of it. That's my point, you know.
I don't really get it totally, but I guess I better finish my presentation. And okay.
I mean, like to have a credible, like online gambling system out.
I don't understand what you mean.
So my question is like, can you make did you investigate Bitcoin?
Yeah, we did, because I mean,
Yeah, so-
what we looked into is like Bitcoin
So
allows.
Bitcoin might
Let me reply to you.
Bitcoin might be the first implementation of like a credible online gambling system.
But explain to me how.
Yeah, this is like what this guy claimed, and I found it very interesting, because then Bitcoin is not the idea of have like a whatever like kind of independent like currency system. It's like it came out of the idea of having like a credible online gambling.
We didn't find it. What we found when we looked at Bitcoin, don't interrupt me, is don't fucking interrupt me. I'm trying to answer your question.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think
No, I mean it's very
We're just having a
believable that
dialogue.
you have a credible gambling system here, yeah?
yeah.
My only question is like maybe Bitcoin like was invented because of the same reason of have a credible online gambling
Yeah, but
system.
currently you can't. I mean, Bitcoin is great, but you can't build a sophisticated system for gambling industry on top of Bitcoin.
I know, but this
So
guy
what's your point?
who like submitted a lot of patent applications on top of Bitcoin, and he was
Yeah, but he's
inventor of Bitcoin.
he's fucking
He
weird.
claims I know he's fucking weird. But
Why are you talking about him?
I mean,
I don't think
there are,
that's
like,
very
a lot
interesting.
of people that would say we are fucking weird here, okay? So we have to like give him some credibility.
I'm not
like,
very
being
weird.
Bitcoin a system that is like provable online gambling. It's not like out of the world, you know, like what's
It's not, but so far I don't understand what you mean. If you can,
Research the early Bitcoin, they've not researched it.
Huh?
They have not researched the early Bitcoin.
No, the point is what this guy who like applied for a lot
I mean,
of time.
obviously everyone who wanted to build on Ethereum first
No,
looked at.
it's like-
no,
it's like-
shut up!
it's like-
I'm just talking to someone else. So when you look at when you look at Bitcoin, I mean, when you look at building a decentralized system, you look at stuff like colored coins and Bitcoin and BitShares and whatever, and then you realize you can do, what you can't do.
Said, like,
And in Bitcoin, there is a certain level of programmability, but there is. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just. Oh, I realized that I.
It's showtime.
Oh,
You just need to generate random numbers.
Да, говори, давай, тебя не буду
oh my God.
показывать. Смотри, описываешь.
So anyway, this is a tribute to the DAO. I don't know if everyone is familiar with the DAO.
Very simple game, you know.
Well, it's not so simple. I would actually show the video because it's damn hard to crack this egg. No, but come on, just show people the video because we can be here all night.
It's just like in the game.
You know, it's a block time in Ethereum is around 15 seconds, 19 seconds now, and all the time you should hit egg.
It's on Robson. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing is missing. They should, in random periods of time, say something like.
Yeah, let's do it. We should just show a video because.
Just a moment, I'm already playing. I can't finish it.
So anyway, this lovely game based on both your luck and your gaming skills. So that's true, but you're really not good enough.
Yeah, and yesterday we just released our first
Just
game.
show them a fucking video.
No,
No, yes.
Старт, дай с гейм покажи им просто и все.
Давай покажем DAO game.
Yeah, now fighting. What? Anybody wants to see our fighting?
I don't know how to find.
Now.
I can bet one even.
I'm trying to find a YouTube video of the game.
Там старое, там не.
Ну и что оно старое? Оно все равно прикольное.
Посмотри на YouTube просто. Нет, да там не надо, ты прям Сергей, напиши Сергей Ломашаков, YouTube, DAO, Hack DAO Game.
Bollocks. Now everything's dead. Можно печатать сейчас?
Блин, почему?
Сергей Ломашаков, Hack DAO Game, у него там прям есть на его этом. Hack the DAO.
I have a question whether we would talk a little bit more about the implementation, like how that online game corresponds to the Ethereum blockchain or something like.
It has a contract. So,
Просто это старый, видишь, у нас. Платформа даже старая.
ну и что старое? Sorry. So, here's the video. Now you can actually watch how the game works, and I think I'm going to finish this presentation because I spoke too much. Yeah, but sorry, you had a question about implementation or something.
It's ICO game. Yes, you just need to collect all the assets.
You mean how does the front end talks to the contract? Sorry? В смысле? Platform.DAO.Casino.
Платформ. You see.
Hello everyone, my name is Valery Litvin and thank you for your attention guys. My name is Valery Litvin and I'm CTO of Cyber.Fund, blockchain developer. I am very happy and excited to see you all here, and we are all
I hope, drunk it yet, and we destroy language borders between us, and words in my English language dictionary not enough to explain what I am thinking, but I will hope that I will do it the best way. So what is Golos? Maybe some of you guys know and heard something about Steemit. Please raise your hands who know about Steemit. Steemit?
It's all gone.
Seriously? Steemit?
They got stoned all the time.
Steemit is the first decentralized blockchain-based social network which was built by Dan Larmer, inventor of BitShares. BitShares, if you didn't heard about BitShares, you should, because it's a really interesting project. It's a generalized smart contract for financial contracts, and Dan Larmer invented Steemit, and we are in the beginning of Steemit really was inspired by them. And you know, in social networks you have borders in languages, and we are make a decision to launch Golos with a contribution with Steemit guys to launch this project for Russian community, and we are named it Golos. So it's the last Russian words in my presentation. Первый русскоязычный blockchain means first Russian-speaking blockchain. So how it looks under the hood? It's just a blockchain explorer, which you can find in a steemit.d.com or golosd.com. It just shows what is going on the blockchain. And Golos, it's just like a Steemit or any other blockchain. It's just distributed database that is located in more than a couple of hundreds nodes around the world. Each node stores all the content, every post, all information that represents the content created by each person which interacts with this blockchain. This content, this is very important, cannot be deleted, changed, or blocked by any authority, government, ICOs. This code, all code for this project, I mean blockchain, client, all these things are open sourced. Any developer can actually check if it works the way that it should be, and contribute to this project. So it's like Golos.io looks like, and it's the same way which Steemit.com looks like. But this is only one of application client for Golos or maybe Steemit blockchain. Golos.io, it's a platform, generalized platform for journalists and bloggers, as well everyone who wants to post interesting things, discuss this information on this site. So why is this interesting? This is very interesting for apps developers because you can build any app based on this blockchain which interacts with this blockchain. Because Steemit.com and Golos, it's only one app which can interact with this blockchain. You can build Instagram based on this blockchain. You can build marketplace based on this blockchain. A lot of apps which can be developed by developers who are expired with this technology. This is very interesting for investors because it is blockchain. You can buy tokens, and Steemit and Golos now working under new hard fork, which allow developers to take part of some persons of reward from any interaction to them, and this will very grow internal economy of this blockchain. And Steemit and goals were interesting, of course, for bloggers, journalists, entrepreneurs, mass media, professional media, and the social activists. I mean, in Russian, it's a very hard question, and it's reason why I put freedom of speech for the first place, because all ex-USA countries have a very, very strong issues in the freedom of speech, and these technologies destroy borders, destroy barriers for interaction between peoples, to speech everything you want, because you can just write everything, it will be put on a blockchain, nobody can delete it, change it, I mean government, vice versa, block it. You just need to node this API address to connect to API and get information from this blockchain. Also, it's economic freedom, because this blockchain, I mean the Steemit blockchain and Goals blockchain, have built it in internal economy with 3 tokens. It's for Steemit, it's Steem Power and Steem Baked Dollar, and for Goals it's Goals Power and Goals Baked Dollar. And these tokens, each one of them have special functionality and value. You can give people very, very simple way to make economic interaction between them, because Dan Larimer, first of, I think, in whole blockchain industry, build blockchain which not have commission for transactions. So if you would like to just send a couple of tokens or make transaction, post your comment or post your post, you don't need to pay for that. You just need only balance, which reserve part of bandwidth of a network of the whole blockchain. It's a very interesting model. You need, I think, if you're really excited about that, you can check Steemit white paper. It's a really interesting thing how Dan Larimer invented that and put it on a blockchain. And the third thing come from content. The second thing which Dan Larimer invented in the Steem blockchain. This guy invented way for decentralized measure value which every person put on a blockchain. I mean, its content, on its discussion, everything. The second 3 main things is network passport, because you have your own account with your own keys, and it's kind of your, it's not like kind of your account on a Facebook or Twitter, because these networks, it's really centralized. This network is decentralized and only you control all information about your identity, how to move them, and also you have a settlement account. You have a lot of tokens, which you have tokens, and on your account you can send it to any guys on this network, trade for any kind of goods. And this third thing is a digital reputation, because every content, every post, and every comment which you are putting on a network, it's saved forever. So you need to think from the first time, from the beginning, which way you are interacting with every person, with every guy on this network, because blockchain remember everything. So it's a really interesting thing. It's technology with a powered graphene technology with a powered by Steem, BitShares and Goals. It's really have a very good speed. It's rather better than a Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's guys on the middle, it's a state Duma, the parliament, the Russian Federation. It's kind of joke. It's really speedful, and it's performance of this network rather more than a lot of these guys. So I talk a lot about the censorship. It's a public blockchain. Nobody can block everything. You can just write everything you want. You have income from posts and likes, because Dan Larimer invented a way which you can decentralized measure value which every person brings to this blockchain, and you can get a value reward. You have a mathematical authority, because it's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's a kind of DAO. It's a really DAO, and every transaction have validation between will put it on a blockchain. It's all things which I am talking about is open source. You can check a blockchain code. You can check every library which you built it on the top of blockchain on a GitHub, and also a steamy.com and Golos.io library. It's a very interesting way which we can think about this, because first time whole social network is really have open data. You can check every transaction. You can, if you're logging in Steemit or the Golos.io, you see posts. But these posts, if you are just edit them, you will see on the client just last version of it. But with blockchain, you can check every edition of this post, and every transaction, every information, every comment, you can just analyze it and analyze. It's very interesting things to new kind of researchers, which way a social community interacting, powered by economic and SFCs built on a network. It's incorruptible algorithm, and why it's incorruptible? Because it's have decentralized management. On most of blockchain networks, you have not a fixed time between blocks, because it's kind of proof of work algorithms, a lot of other things. But in BitShare, Steem, Golos.io, you have a decentralized proof of stake. It's very interesting concept which Dan Larimer brings to this network, and it's working like imagine that you have a set of guys which are going to bring themselves to election, and these guys would like to validate blocks and write these blocks to the blockchain. It's a kind of liquid democracy, and you have some tokens, I mean a part of tokens of the whole network tokens, and with these tokens, it's kind of power, Golos power, Steem power, you can vote for each person on this network. And guys which have most part of these votes will validate blocks and put it on the blockchain. But if these guys will not do good things, it will be in 10 seconds move from this top 19 people who are doing this, and guys who are bringing the better value to this network will do this work. It's we have one only issue for this blockchain. These blockchains cannot hold right now media files. I mean, this blockchain stores only JSON, stores only documents. I mean, JSON, Markdown, HTML, plain text, not binary. And but you can hold these things. All guys, a lot of guys saves pictures, media files on IPFS, or just provide links. You can check this. It's I explained about the delegated proof of stake. It's a kind of rating of witnesses on a Golos network right now. You can see on a second column, on the third column, how many votes provided for each person. The 5/5 column is price fees, which guys is providing to this network. Version of blockchain, because every witness votes for version of blockchain, because if you would like to blockchain works special functionality, you can just write the code, provide to other delegates, if the most part of delegates install the software and I mean vote for this fork, after this network will work a new way. It's a kind of which this network can evolution. And we are launch the Golos network for the whole ex-USA countries, whole Russian speaker community in the 18th of October 2016. Now we have a kind of 4,700,000 blocks, and this screenshot which I take when I just put enter and launch this blockchain, because team who launch this blockchain is here, and these guys are now as a part of top delegates. Raise your hands. we did this. So, and couple of things about technology which are powered by, it's a graphene. Graphene it's a layer under BitShare, Steem and Golos, but in Steem and Golos it's have a lot of changes. It's like it's really now a new technology, but what this technology allow you? You know, BitShare, Steem, Golos, it's only one blockchains on the market which allow you to make 5,000 transactions per second. It's really tested, guys. Maybe 1.5 week ago, tested that BitShare's blockchain can process 5,000 transactions per second. And the example for Bitcoin, 5 transactions per second around them. And then Larmer, now you can check in on Steemit on his last post, working with new blockchain projects. They described it as like generalized smart contract platform, also without transaction fees. It will be very interesting. And this is a team of Golos. Now we have a 30,000 transaction day, 7,000 active users a week, and very interesting. We can ranking blockchain. It's not a good picture, I know. I will describe. You can ranking blockchain system between how many transactions per day or per week they have. So Steemit blockchain have 150,000 transactions per day. It's right now. How many transactions per day Ethereum have? Or 100,000. 100,000. And Bitcoin?
Bitcoin about 300,000.
And you can just check capitalization of Bitcoin and Steemit, and or Ethereum and Steemit, and evaluate which project are unrelated or evaluated. So thank you for your time. My name is Valery Litvin. Thank you. Let's drink. Sorry. Zach, Zach.
Say a couple of words about that.
Sorry, man. So what do you need?
I found it on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube? Okay. Yeah, just a sec.
Some money on this gas.
Thanks, Valerie. Can you also make some for you?
Okay.
Pocket?
If I had pockets.
Pockets?
Sure.
Just ask me, I will.
This is the fund. Not the
It's not very loud.
Okay, I'm here. Super excited.
Should I start it?
The Internet of Value.
You did find the video, right?
I did find it, yes.
It was on the main page on the site.
Oh,
Really?
it was on my Facebook.
What makes Eternity different from other blockchains? Eternity has several unique features that make it different from other blockchains. The technology aims to be ready for mainstream adoption by providing three key elements. 1. State channels. Users interact with each other instantly and privately. Your business interactions are kept off-chain without having to expose your transactions or smart contracts publicly. This also keeps the blockchain light and robust for years. There's no limit to the volume of transactions being processed at the same time. Eternity is lightning fast. 2. The hybrid proof of work and proof of stake system. Consensus is achieved by proof of work. This means that people can mine the tokens on almost all devices, including smartphones. This is truly decentralized mining.
Mining on the
The governance
smartphone.
mechanism runs on a proof-of-stake model
Cool.
based on prediction markets. 3. The Oracle machine. Oracle machines allow you to connect real-world data to smart contracts. Any publicly available data can be integrated, such as election results, weather conditions, sport event results, and commodity prices like gold and oil. This opens up the field for major use cases. Think of financial applications, supply chain management, information markets, insurances, and gaming. Combining these three elements, Eternity breaks the bottleneck to even further adoption of blockchain technology. Countless use cases in payment solutions, trade finance, and the Internet of Things. How is Eternity unique? Eternity will come with the essential applications available at the launch of the platform, making it immediately useful. Eternity is working on educational programs to support businesses and developers to find their own use cases. An incubator foundation will support projects that build upon the Eternity platform. Eternity, a light and secure platform to bring the blockchain technology to the next level. Join us at eternity.com.
Okay, so I'm Zach. I'm the developer for Eternity. I'm writing this blockchain. And our main focuses are scalability, which we're achieving through Turing-complete state channels, and our Oracle system, so that the blockchain can be aware of real-world data, so we can start betting on football games and political elections and getting insurance. Are there any questions? We're gonna, on Monday, they're gonna start selling tokens. If you want to participate.
Yes, we want. I did ask you. I did ask you why you're focused on a pure functional paradigm. That is my question.
Are you asking about the virtual machine that's inside the blockchain for the smart contracts?
I'm asking about why you're so betting on both sides of your functional language for execution of smart contracts.
You are asking about the virtual machine. It's a fourth-like language, actually. It's not purely functional. It's got state. You can like save things in memory.
Okay, you're using Cuckoo for
There's been a lot of talk about that. I personally don't support using Cuckoo.
No?
I think Cuckoo would be a bad idea, but it's still open for discussion among eternity.
Okay.
But what do you think about? What is a better way to which algorithm? Why we choose?
What are your preferences? I mean,
what's your personal preference?
I think GPU mining is fine. ASIC mining is fine. They're both good. Anything else? Who else?
Who is this? What kind of organization or how many people are used?
Well, I'm not exactly integrated with Eternity. I'm writing this software that's open source, and Eternity is the first company that thought my software is worth launching. The people behind Eternity, you can see all their faces on Eternity's website. Eternity.com, right there. I think that about covers it. What do I do with this?
That's me.
You want to take it?
Yep, thank you. What I would like is Cyber.Fund. Okay, not sure this works, yeah? No. Okay, so I'm the last, unfortunately, so everyone's drunk already. That's okay, that's okay. I'll be very quick and I'll try and keep things very, very simple.
Shut up, everyone, without presentation now.
All right, so I'm a guy who who's working on money, basically on monetary theory. I've developed the credit conversion theory of money, which you can you can buy my book on Amazon, Alex Kampa, check it out. And it's based on the works of a guy called Mitchell Innes, who wrote basically that credit is basically money in 1913. But that doesn't matter. What's credit conversion? I'll try to give you an example, a concrete example, what credit conversion is. Okay, so you can understand the project. Imagine a student wants to buy a used car. I mean, even a new car, doesn't matter. He goes to the car dealer and says, oh, I like that car. Will you sell it to me? The car dealer will say, yeah, great, yeah, of course. Well, will you let me just pay it in installments, like 1,000 euros or 500 euros every month? And the car dealer will look at this guy and say, are you crazy? I don't know you. Okay. I need someone else to some money. The student goes to the bank and says, can I get a credit? And the bank looks at the student and says, what's your income? Well, I'm a student. Forget it. Right. So the student goes to his dad and says, Dad, will you guarantee my credit? And Dad says, well, if you mow my lawn every week, I will. The student says, oh, shit, okay, fine. So the student and his dad go to the bank. The bank gives a credit to the student. And with that money, the student buys his car. What happened? We have two types of credit conversion that happened. First, the student's credit was enhanced by his father's credit. That's the first conversion. Then, now the father's credit, of course, is better than the student's credit, but it's probably not enough to go to the car dealer and say, can I pay you in installments? So there was one increase of credit that happened. It wasn't enough. Then he went to the bank, and the bank accepted the father's credit, and exchange that credit against bank credit. Now, what is bank credit? How do we call it? Anyone know? How do we call bank credit? Money. Money. Bank credit is money. Okay? So the bank transformed, the father transformed the student's credit into his credit. The bank transformed the father's credit into bank credit, and the bank credit is something that the car dealer accepted. That's credit conversion. And that's what our system is also about. Okay. What you need to do that. Right. Thank you very much. The second example I will give you, and I'm not following the normal format because usually I present things and there's people try to ask so many questions about what we're trying to do. 2 days ago I was in Paris and I was actually explained about Cyber, what our system did. What the system does, or will do hopefully, because it's not developed yet. And there was a Chinese guy there, a professor of Chinese history and of philosophy at university in Sorbonne. And after my little speech, he sort of looked at me and said, yeah, well, this is happening in Paris today. And I was like, what? Yeah. He said, well, there are networks of companies, usually small companies, because he lives in the 13th department, the arrondissement, that's where the Chinese guys live. So these networks of companies, they know each other, they probably are originating from the same region in China, and they do business with each other all the time. Like the guy who sells some clothing goes to eat at the restaurant owner buys from the clothing guy and from there's a supermarket, etc. They constantly deal with each other, and they don't pay. They don't pay with money, they pay with credit. They all write it down. And there's one guy in the middle, the big guy, an authority, who just makes sure that everyone follows the rules and no one cheats, etc. And once a year, and only once a year, everyone goes together and they see who paid what to whom and they settle. And you can imagine that in a system like that, a large volume of transactions was done, but at the end, the differences that need to be paid are quite small. Yeah? A paid B, B paid C, C paid A. It's done on credit, and in the end, maybe there's some, maybe one of them has to pay some actual money to another, but it's much, much less. Good. And that is exactly what Cyber is all about. So I'm very excited to have a real-world case, and I'm trying to get in touch with these guys in Paris. I used to live in the 13th arrondissement myself 10 years ago, so, okay. So Cyber is software that will allow to do this and much more. Much more because the use case in Paris is a simple use case. There are not many conditions. You just, the conditions in our system, and I maybe just one slide. If you have time, I'll show you just one slide. If I can find this thing, if I can get, there's a link here, I think. It works. Okay. So let's see if I can scroll down. Don't know how to. It does work. Just get a little chart here. Basically, let me just very briefly notice that in our economy, all transactions, almost all economical transactions, you can model by credit relationships. As soon as you accept that money itself is credit, in fact, everything, in payments, etc., everything is credit. When a company sends out an invoice to a customer, that company is granting credit to the customer. Because the customer hasn't paid yet, the customer now owes money to the company. Everything is credit. We've forgotten about it. We think everything is money. In fact, everything is credit. Now, just one little thing that I wanted to get to is credit conversion. Once again, we have a guy who wants to pay in a store, and his own credit is not good enough. He needs to convert his credit. Okay, he may take on a loan from a bank to pay the store, to pay whatever. The credit gets converted. But there are fees. Okay, now, if it's a group of friends, we can just do stuff with each other and buy ourselves beers. We will not charge ourselves, interest. We will not have any special conditions. It's fine, okay? In real world, you have conditions. So in this case, if you have a chain of transactions between every two users, you will have basically the equivalent, potentially, the equivalent of a smart contract, of a credit contract with conditions, with interest rates, repayment rules, whatever. You know, maybe that for 10 days the credit is free, for the next 30 days you have to pay an interest rate, and then you have to repay in fiat money or in Bitcoin or whatever. Every one of these is potentially a contract. And if you have something where you have a chain, you have to understand that the initiator of the transaction has to pay the fees, not only just between him and the next one in a chain, but for all the steps in a chain. Okay? And to handle this is a bit complicated, and that's why in our system we have a problem, well, a performance issue, because we need to do clearing in a complex system. We need to find ways to compensate. Yes? Users, people, companies do lots of transactions, and we need to reverse these things. The system needs to automatically reverse transactions, meaning, okay, it's the other situation where, say, company 1 has paid company 2 has paid company 3, and back. There's clearing. This is a very simple system. Example, if you imagine you have hundreds, thousands, millions of users, finding these clearing paths is a computationally expensive thing. So we can't do it on something like Ethereum or on a blockchain like that. What we're looking at, cheapest, well, there's so many issues there. Cheapest to deliver. You want to pay someone, the system needs to find the cheapest way for you to pay. There may be many ways of paying. There may be many ways, yeah. I may not have a direct link with someone. I may have various intermediaries through whom I could pay if they agree. And the system needs to give me the simplest, the cheapest path. All right? But I will not go into details there. So that's also, that is computationally not that expensive. The expensive stuff is the clearing. Ongoing optimization. I have an open transaction. Someone opens, 2 other users in the system open a credit line between themselves, and suddenly the system sees, I can shift your transaction elsewhere because it's better for everyone. So the optimization doesn't happen just at the moment of paying. It's a continuous process. So the system needs to find the optimal payment path at initiation. It needs to check whether at any moment there's a better payment path for you, for your open outstanding credits and debits, and it needs to clear credits and debits on an ongoing basis. It's computationally expensive. So let's see if I can sort of find this one little. There we go. So what we want to do, we'll have nodes, they're called Secoba Federation members, they're the nodes who do the work. Okay, we want this to be eventually a DAO, an independent sort of federation of nodes. They do the heavy processing. Because the optimization, it's not deterministic, which means we give a certain number of seconds for the system to find some kind of solution. It's probably not going to be optimal, but we're going to try and find some optimal solution. Now, we have lots of these powerful nodes working for us. So what we're going to do is the nodes agree on the state of a system. Boom. And then they are given a certain number of seconds, and they each independently try and find an optimum solution, try and reduce the overall cost of the transactions in the system. And they all do this at the same time, and then there is a cut-off time, and all the nodes then communicate and see who won. And this is not a deterministic system, which means we cannot know because there will be some randomness involved. Okay? And then the node that gets the best solution wins. Now, finding a good solution is hard. Verifying the solution is easy. So all the nodes, the node that wins, that gets the best solution, announces it, or they say, it's him, let's check it, it's good, boom, we have the next block. And afterwards, we just continue like that. That's what we call the optimization consensus protocol. And I think it's a kind of innovation. I haven't seen this yet. I don't know if anyone here has seen this. It's not, of course, there are projects which use distributed computing. It's basically applying methods of you use the processing power of all the nodes for a useful thing. That's the idea here. Okay. Let me just finish with the remark that in the system, the users know each other. We are replicating what is happening in the real world. We're not doing anything new. We're not doing anything anonymous. In fact, I'm even against a rating system here. We'll flag users who don't repay, etc. I'm against the rating system. These users are all supposed to know each other, and in the system, you will never ever, I mean, it's built in, you will never ever have an exposure to someone whom you haven't chosen. Every user chooses whom he trusts and says, these users can actually pay me. They can have debt towards me, no one else. There's no way that someone whom you don't trust or whom you haven't specifically selected will be able to pay you. Okay? It's like in the real world. We're trying to replicate something that has worked for most of human history. And for most of human history, business has been done on credit. We don't want to replace banks. The payment with bank money is always a last resort. And to pay someone, the system tells me, well, or it's automatic, there is no way of paying that person with credit. You pay it with money, no problem. Okay? You have an outstanding balance for too long, and the system knows your counterpart has decided he grants you credit for 30 days. After 30 days, if there's no offsetting transaction, you pay with cash, as in the real world. All right, are there any questions so far? Because that's it. So we've got a token pre-sale going until mid-May. Okay, you've seen, I think, the website. If I can, actually, I don't know how to go back in this browser. No. Here we go. No, that's not. Do something here. There we go. So there's stuff on the website. We're not sharing all the documentation on the website. There is some stuff on the website. If people are really interested, they can contact us to get some more. Maybe just okay. I still see some attention here. Think about that this way: you've got a $1 trillion P2P money transfer market. You have something like over $100 billion P2P lending market, and that only started 10 years ago. In 10 years, it went from 0 to well over 100 billion if you count China, although China is very iffy. It's growing like at least 50% a year, P2P lending. This here is maybe the beginning of a P2P IOU market. It's inexistent, it's tiny, it's okay, you've got some community currencies, you've got some very small examples, you've got the Chinese guys in Paris. Let's say this is still very, very small, so we're maybe, possibly, I hope so, at the beginning of something quite big, which I call the P2P IOU market. You know, let's start using credit again as it was intended in the past. Thank you very much. Questions or?
How do you think when you will be able to launch it? I mean, realistic timeline when you want to deliver, right? Because,
yeah.
You know, I actually know one guy in Ukraine, in Kyiv, working on very similar solutions.
Yeah, but it's
but without optimization consensus algorithm you name.
I know, it's Max Demjanjuk. Max Demjanjuk, yeah, I know him, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know him, right?
Yeah, of course. I know another project.
He wasn't able to deliver that quite fast because of the same problem of computational complexity and.
I know. I told him more than a year ago.
Yes.
But it's not just that. But his project is anyway much simpler than this because we have the. Yeah. How?
How long are you going to work on the?
Right.
Working stuff.
Well, let's say right. So we're going to raise money via a pre-sale. to get the full specifications and to get a working sort of MVP, like a simple or a version that has the essential features. We want to get this for the end of the year. Not necessarily with the consensus protocol, not everything.
We want the thing, yeah?
Possibly, because...
But that will be productive network.
Sorry?
That will be productive network.
That will be productive, yes. Productive. For the end of the year, we just want something that actually works with some of the basic features.
I would advise you to launch it without this consensus algorithm, because you face a problem of the distribution, yes? And that's up. I mean, in Ripple, yeah, that is better Ripple with mining.
Sorry, that is?
That is better Ripple, but with mining.
Well, it's not like it's. You see, this is not like Ripple because in Ripple
I
you.
understand it perfectly. I mean, that is better Ripple.
Yeah.
But you can issue tokens using mining, your main kind of optimization consensus algorithm. Yeah?
Well, that's not really, I mean, it's just finding the optimum. It's not really mining. I mean, yeah, you can call it mining, I guess.
We can.
You can, okay, it's mining, yeah.
And I think that it would be wise to launch the network without this kind of distribution. You will kill it.
Okay.
Don't do that. Just my advice.
Okay, but I understand why without
because
this...
distribution is a matter. Costa told you. You are going to distribute all tokens on a crowd sale, yes, and you actually have a killer feature. I mean, when you can verify state of the network and find the best solution to pass of clearance.
Yeah.
And you can actually distribute tokens based on these solutions. And that is cool emission model. That is awesome emission model. And yes.
So I've got a question. You're talking about finding these circles to settle a lot of debt all at once in a circle.
That's all clear, yeah.
There's the exact same problem in payment channels. Because if you have a payment channel, we end up at a point where all the money's on your side of the channel and I can't pay you anymore. But if we can find a cycle, we can like recharge our payment channel the same way as these loans.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I want to try and reuse a lot of these problems you're solving for the payment channel world.
Okay, yeah. In our case, but you need the whole information, right? It's not enough to have local information. You need to...
You have to know about the whole network.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult.
And
I haven't solved this yet.
It's indeterministic. You need to just try your best and shake it up. And it's actually the problem is potentially even more complex because once you find a cycle and say, yeah, that's good. This brings down the transactions, it lowers the fees. But in your network, in your cycle there, after you apply this clearing, it may be that 3 or 4 users actually win and 1 user loses. Like for 1 loser, it could be more expensive, and then you need to have just either you don't do it or you have a system. You have the other ones compensate the loser from allowing the transaction to be done. Okay.
Is your work all open source so far?
No.
Well,
but
would you
okay.
do that soon, please?
Yeah, no, but okay. Let me explain where we are. We are at concept level. Okay. Whatever code exists is sort of absolutely minimal and will be thrown out because I wrote it and I'm not so good at it. Okay? So we need to actually write the code, but we still haven't resolved all of the conceptual issues, okay? Because, yeah, there are still some...
Well, maybe I can write some of this code for you, because it's going to be the exact same thing with payment channels.
Good. Hey. That's fantastic. Yeah? No.
It's called CCOBA.
CCOBA, yeah?
Great.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.